Hi, welcome to another in our series of Real People in Scripture, where we explore the lives of real people who lived in real places at real times. And I got to be honest up front here, this isn't a real person. And yet it's somebody that Jesus described in one of his parables that I think it's really good for us to think about his life. And then next time we'll look at his older brother. But this guy was, well, the Pharisees had come to Jesus and they were complaining about how he was associating with people who were sinful, people who tax collectors, prostitutes, things like that. They said, Jesus, you shouldn't be hanging out with them. And Jesus told them a series of parables. First, he talked about a lost sheep and how the shepherd had gone to find that one lost sheep out of 100. And then he talked about a lost coin and how the widow looked all night long to try to find this coin and how happy she was when she found it. But then he told a parable that we know as the Prodigal Son or the lost son. And in this parable, Jesus talked about a young man who went to his dad and said, Dad, I want my inheritance now. Now, we may not think of it this way, but really what he's saying is, Dad, it's taking you too long to die. Dad, I want my money now, and I want to live as if you weren't alive anymore. And surprisingly, I mean, if it were me, if I were in the dad's sandals, I probably would have said, get out. But this father said, okay, you can have your inheritance now and live the life you want to go live. So the young man went and he lived a very wild lifestyle. And then all his money ran out. And his friends, they walked away from him because he didn't have any more money. He couldn't give them the pleasures that they wanted. And so this young man who was Jewish got a job working, taking care of pigs, which if you remember, if you know your Judaism, you know that Jewish people were not supposed to be touching and eating pigs, but this was this man's job. And he got to the point where he wanted to eat the very food that the pigs were eating, which the type of food, the pods that they were would have just made him even sicker than he was. Finally, and the Greek is kind of wonderful here, he tells it, the scripture tells us that he came to himself. It's really like he came up to a mirror and he said, Self, you got a problem. And he recognized that even the servants in his father's household had better lives than he did, working with pigs. And so he went back to his dad's house, and Luke in his gospel, chapter 15, tells us that his father was looking for him, not going out and searching for him, but looking for him. Every day he's like, son, I know he's coming back. I know he's coming back. And so he looked and he saw his son far off in the horizon, and he just knew it was the son. And so he scripture says he girded up his loins, which I know sounds strange to us today, but basically it means that he took his robe and he tied it up. He cinched it up with his belt so that he could run. And he ran to his son. And again, the literal words mean that he kissed him all over his face, just smothered him in kisses, all over. And the son started to apologize. And the father said, you're back, you're home. And he told his servants, let's have a party, let's have a feast. And so why am I telling you about this guy when he wasn't even real? Well, the example for us, again, going back to the point that Jesus was telling these stories, is that no one is lost. No one is too far away from the grace and the mercy of God. No matter what they've done, they can still return and be welcomed back with celebration, with thanksgiving. So I want to encourage you, if you feel like God is too far away from you, he's standing there. He's waiting for you to return to him. Or if you know someone, you think they're too far away, they're lost, remember, God is standing there. His arms are open wide. So keep praying, keep encouraging, because God might use you to bring that person back into a relationship with him. Remember, your time is his time. So please use it wisely. God bless you.